That's right. It's the morning show, pre-show countdown. We're getting ready to go live here in just a couple of minutes on air over there at ABC News Radio KMT 1490 AM. Glad to have each and every one of you with us. Today, a lot of questions in social media. What's going on? Is there going to be an impeachment? Is there not? We got some top stories here. Want to see what you guys want to talk about. As you know, this is a live show. So if you have suggestions for stories that you'd like to know more about, we are more than willing to share some. And let me go to some of the top ones. Parlor squeeze. Trump seeks a new online megaphone. I'll be honest, I have no idea what Parlor is. Jesse has an idea. And from what I understand, they are now down and not rolling out. So let's see. Inmates escape jail with homemade rope. That's according to police. Let's see. California virus deaths top 30,000 over the deadliest weekend. And this one, 3 in stolen car fleeing Iowa, police killed. So there you go. Those are some of the official headlines. And we got Jesse over there getting ready to go on live with us in just seconds. How much time you got, Jesse?
30 seconds.
All right, cool. And we got some good news about Deadpool. Deadpool 3, right, Jesse? We're pulling that up soon.
Oh, yes. I'm excited.
Are they more than rumors, or are they like confirmations?
As far as I read, it's confirmed.
Ooh, all right. So I'm talking about. All right, let's say good morning to McCool tuning in. Thank you. Mario tuning in. Thank you.
5 seconds. We're going live.
All right, thank you. That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio KMET 1490 AM. Joining our live stream audience there, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube Live, Periscope TV, LinkedIn. Glad to have you with us on today's show. We're talking about some of the top headlines, many of which are wondering what's going on with coronavirus, what's going on with the stimulus check, and of course, what's going on with the president's situation, which I don't know. I've got theories right now that are kind of running in my head. We got Mr. Jesse Sanchez with his theories as well. We got him over there in the control room. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning. Ooh, theories. What kind of theories do you got?
I got like 3 of them right now, but I'm going to wait to air them right now because, you know, it could go anywhere right now. We've got, of course, the impeachment process starting up again, right? How many times have we had that situation come up and it always fall on deaf ears? Do they have enough to say? Can they prove it? Or is it rhetoric proven about rhetoric? I said. You know how many times he said, and then he goes, I was kidding, or it was a joke, or I was, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know that they're going to hold his feet to the water on this one. And I'm willing for them just to say, look, he's unfit and unwell, and we have enough, you know, let's put him in front of a doctor and see how his mental training mind, which we said maybe there should be like a testing IQ level in the first place. Don't you think, Jesse?
Yeah, I think we talked about they should have like some kind of like mental test to see if you're all there in the head.
Yeah, it was called an IQ test. And then there's an emotional test that you could do as well. But, you know, a lot of people probably wouldn't sign up for it. I think they should, though. I'm just saying, I think they should. Okay, let's go to our social media chat room right now. Let's see who's kicking it up with us. We've got McCool tuning in. Thank you, McCool, tuning in. Appreciate you. Let us know where you're tuning in from. That's a cool name. Maria from Canada tuning in. Thank you, Maria, one of our fantastic nurses over there doing a very big job over there. And obviously, we appreciate her as well as all of our nurses and all of our frontline workers. A lot of people, whether you like it or not, have either known of somebody or know somebody that's currently in the hospital and or getting sick. So please pay attention to them. If, again, they have the necessary... There are some symptoms, for example, that you're going to get, and there are some that are very... You need to go ahead and check. Does that make sense? So there are, like, for example, if you have a shortness of breath, get that checked out right away. Don't try to go, oh, I'm going to be okay, because the pneumonia can get full blown within just a day or two. It really can go next level. So you need to get right away into the doctor's office, and even go through the emergency, because you'll actually be quicker. And then, of course, they can take care of that even faster. But I've seen literally in hours, people's lungs collapse to the point where they can't breathe or take in oxygen. And if you become a little delirious and or you all of a sudden aren't making reasonable choices, if you've already found it hard to breathe, your oxygen level could be quite low. So be very careful about that. Already have two of the people I talked about last week, which that's exactly the situation that they found themselves in. So please be careful there. Again, if you have shortness of breath and you find that it's harder to breathe, that can get, unfortunately, to your brain, or lack of oxygen can get to your brain and cause you to not make proper decisions and or reasonable decisions. So if you've got shortness of breath, please tell somebody you love, let them know, ask them to take you to the hospital and or go to the emergency room right away. Okay. Don't let that get too long and drawn out. I'm sure health professionals out there will say that's one of the main symptoms. Of course, in some cases, there's situations with blood that might drop significantly. There's a host of them, but make sure to be around somebody that you love and or somebody that can take you right away and or can check in on you. So if you have COVID and you are alone, express it to your family members right away. Don't try to muscle it all by yourself, because I feel in this case, there's going to be a lot more situations which we're going to come up across where people may have even died in their own home alone because they were trying to fight it alone. So don't be alone in this situation. Check in, make sure that people check in on you, do welfare checks. I think nobody's really talking about it, and they need to start checking in on their family and friends, especially if you haven't heard from somebody in quite a while. Okay, start checking in on them and just say, hey, how you doing? Want to check in on you. I've seen some friends completely ignore my posts and or text messages and I don't even know where they're at. Does that make sense? And it's just called, hey, just want to check in, make sure you're okay, make sure no one's sick and or feeling unwell. So I've sent out some messages to some people and gotten some replies, and then others I'm like, where are they at? I had one friend that I messaged, and she is undergoing, honestly, grief from a friend who recently died of COVID. So sometimes there's extenuating circumstances, but what I say is don't isolate yourself so much that you forget about being with one another. And I've gone out multiple times, on the freeway and out to Target and other shopping centers. And there's a right way and there's a wrong way to actually do it. And I've seen the majority of people out there, living life as much as possible. What I do say is, again, be careful each and every day. So there you go. I don't know what you do when you go out, Jesse.
Yeah, I do not go out often. So yeah, I can't. I think the last time I went out was, I can't remember. I think it was last week when I went to Target.
Okay. Yeah. I've been going to Target quite often and, checking in on friends and family with the hospital. My sister's got to be in a new place and a new destination, but face mask. And of course, I've got gloves ready to go at a moment's notice. And like I said, I know my mom wanted to do her blood work with with the lab. And I said, can you just wait? Is it routine or is it mandatory? She's like, well, it's routine. I go, then let it wait for a couple more weeks. Again, she's on the higher level of extreme cases if she gets it, meaning that, of course, she suffers from diabetes and other types of illnesses pre-existing. So if you have one of those and or you're older and even or younger, please exercise proper caution and just make sure you're safer there for it. Okay. Social media chat room. Let's see. Continuing the shout outs. Maria says, yay, Deadpool 3, Ryan Reynolds rocks. I know. I think we can all agree on that, right? Adina Harmon says, good morning, all the way from Texas. Good to have you, Adina. Thank you for joining us. Let's see. Rosalie says this, one of my best friends and her son have it, and another friend's hubby passed away last week. He was healthy. He was fighting in since November. That's another situation that we're finding ourselves in. The longer a person stays on a ventilator, the more traumatic it can be in later months. So again, make sure that you check in on your family and or people. Make sure to be aware of the latest in even certain medication that they're currently giving. I know one was given to a family member, and it was not working on the third day, and they finally pulled it. It was the one that Trump had really recommended, which is why I was wondering why would they put that one at the forefront. So now they're trying a couple other ones, which I was already against, but I didn't have any say on it, So be aware of these things. Don't always, again, sometimes you have to talk to the doctors. You have to be in front of the nurses, even in the waiting room and or outside, and say, hey, I'm here, because they don't answer the phone calls because they're so busy, especially in ER. So be ahead of it and try to be on it as much as possible. Okay. Stephanie Reed says, hello, happy editing this glorious day for today's awesomeness. Busy day ahead. Yes, every day is busy, right? Adina says, I check in with my parents to make sure they are safe and healthy. Good job. Keep doing that. Let's see. We've got other people. Let's see. Mario says, anyone over 65 shouldn't be able to run in the government as president. I don't know how I feel about that, but I do think, there's wisdom with years. I agree in some ways there hasn't been much wisdom for a couple of months. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But there you go. Jesse, what do you think about that? Good idea, bad idea, great idea?
Everyone is entitled to their opinion, whether it's right or wrong.
There you go.
So, I always have questions on, sometimes the older people have been in there for too long. And you know what? What have they done? Nothing's changed. It's just getting worse.
Yeah, I will say there's a good mix. Okay, there's a good mix. I think, for example, there's a lot you could learn from, a mid-level to younger generation, right? And then there's a lot you could learn from the older generation, right? Or those that have wisdom beyond years, right? I would love to bring back the person, that had wisdom like way back in the day, back in Bible days when they lived to be like 800, 900 years. I'm sure there was a lot of wisdom there, but so there you go. Or at least those that actually ask for wisdom from above. I don't think there's many of those that do that anymore. All right, people, we're going to take a quick break here on the morning show. We'll be back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Oh, did you want the commercials?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Adventure story? The Atua Man is masterfully illuminated in this self-discovery novel by John Stevenson. Dive into the page-turning epic hero's journey, weaving together high action with spiritual revelation. Join the Atua Man and his colorful cohorts as they travel through the majestic Hawaii, the hidden mysteries of Polynesia, and the intrigue, starting with the mysterious healing that breeds chaos in London. This journey guides us through the trials of living in the material world, arriving into enlightened consciousness, perhaps glimpse into the fabric of creation. How is the Atua Man affected by the global healing ministry surrounding him? How does he navigate the complexities of love, forgiveness, life and death, wealth and power? Find out in John Stevenson's TheAtuaMan.com, Apple Books, Amazon, Barnes & Noble.
Experience sheer driving pleasure. Visit BMW of Ontario in the Ontario Auto Centre. Whether you are looking to purchase, lease, or service your BMW, there is only one place to go in the Inland Empire, and that is BMW of Ontario. Visit us today, just east of Interstate 15 off Harupa Street, or online at bmwofontario.com.
Check out the online California Youth Leadership Summit on Saturday, February the 6th from 2 to 5 p.m. Topics for the high school and college panels include climate change, racial equality, gender equity, world peace, and coping with the pandemic. Panel moderators include such celebrities as former NFL quarterback Mark Sanchez and Guinness World Record-holding mountaineer Marin Minamiya. It's open to all ages. To register for free, visit www.californiasummit.org. That's www.californiasummit.org.
Are you paying rent because you think you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you renting because you don't believe that you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? The Siegel lending team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel lending team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com, license under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Hello, listeners. This is Christopher from The Christopher Show. Hey, if you missed one of our shows here at KMET, don't worry about it. You can go to our webpage, and that's KMET1490am.com. Go to the homepage, click on the SoundCloud tab, and hear any show anytime you want.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Glad to have each and every one of you with us. And social media chat room, we're checking out the feed over there. A couple people commenting on coronavirus. Maria says this: I have pink eye from dust. Don't have COVID as a symptom, though. I've been told to stay home anyways. I've had my 2 vaccines and been tested a ton, but no one wants a healthcare worker with pink eye to treat them. Although that's a very common thing, right, with a regular cold. So yeah, I can see how that could be a little problematic, though. And you know what? Take it as some time off and rest up. Why not, right? You might as well do that for now, and or play some VR. Let's see. Adina says this: young people need to run and campaign effectively and win. How the system is set up, not everyone can retire at 65. I'm 62 and I founded 2 new businesses to help make the internet more accessible for people with disabilities. Our brains work fine. Yeah. And let me clarify something on that as well. Again, I have seen and found more wisdom in a generation that has been through it all and survived to tell the tale. Does that make sense? For example, I always say, be careful of the senior in the room because they live that long, they could take you out quicker than anybody else. I mean, right, Jesse? Think about it. I mean, in a zombie apocalypse, some, probably have fought like in World War I, World War II, and even, other wars and still live to tell the tale. They know things you don't want them to know. You know what I mean?
Yes, that is true.
And then combine that with somebody that is youthful and good with technology, and you got the most amazing force ever. I always say, talk about like a mentorship program, right? I've always found it very, very, I feel ever since I was younger as well, probably around 8 to 11, I always found myself hanging around the elderly, and I mean like 83, 84, 85, and finding out information from them. And then I always had friends that were older than me, usually by 15, 20 years. And then I had very few friends that were the same age because I just felt like kind of boring. But that was me at a very young age. And that's not everybody, but I always say learn the wisdom from those that have gone ahead of you and learn from them each and every time. Now, do I feel that there's smarter people that could run technically? Well, that's why I like Kamala. I'm not going to lie there. Kamala is like a perfect vice president right now, which if Biden ends up losing his memory and or going down the road of more dementia, then Kamala's gonna have to step in. I just hope they can catch it before it like gets to that point, which look, like him or hate him, I think a lot of people even that voted for him kind of going, yeah, there's kind of some things there that you kind of question, right? So but you have to watch that. Anybody that knows anybody that has gone through dementia and or certain versions of the brain debilitate. It could happen even in a 40-year-old, actually. I've seen documentaries on how the brain can actually do that as well. So you always want to make sure, properly do exercises that are good for your brain. There's a list of things that you can do to keep your brain, they call it plasticity, I believe. And you could keep it younger by doing things that actually challenge your brain and motivate it to work harder. So I would say this: if you're going to retire, make sure that you don't just sit there in front of the TV all day long, every single day. Challenge to word puzzles, other puzzles. If you like, my mom loves Scrabble. And so I say, do more of that and because there's certain parts of your brain that when they start kind of becoming just as an observer, for example, of television, which is why I don't think certain centers do it well when they just put them in front of the TV and just do that. There's ways to stimulate the brain. There's music that could stimulate the brain, even in an elderly generation. So if you have a grandparent and or a parent currently suffering from that, there's a lot of things that you can do to reinvigorate the brain, unless, of course, if they're in a coma. And even then, there's sciences and technology things that you can do to be able to, help them throughout that process. They say, actually, if somebody's in a coma, they actually can still, a portion of the brain still is on. Does that make sense, Jesse?
Yeah, it does. I heard people can hear while they're in comas.
Yeah, exactly. Even surgery. Some people kind of like remember, or they heard like music playing, and people go, "How did you do that when you were out?" And there's still a center of the brain that actually, although dormant, can be accessed. It's a subconscious part of the brain, sometimes misunderstood, often. But my point is this: as dynamic as the brain is, sometimes there's wisdom in yours, and sometimes there's not. Sometimes there's a lack of wisdom, or a selfishness that kind of prevails, and or certain traits that make a person seem what used to be quite wise, all of a sudden quite unwise. You know what I mean? So there you go. But so there you go. Love it or hate it. I say this: learn from those ahead of you, and don't forget to ask them how they lived life and lived it so long. Because, I've always wanted to do one of these days when I get some slow time, just to pull like, a couple of people and say, tell me about your life, and it's interesting, the lives and the stories that people are willing to tell when you're just a perfect stranger versus like own family members. Right. So learn. I don't know if have you ever done that, Jesse, and you found out like interesting things about family members that you're like, I never knew that.
Family members, no. Complete strangers, actually one time, yes. An older gentleman started talking to me about his time in the military in the 60s or something like that, and how he started going into detail and stuff. And as I was talking to him, I'm looking at him, I'm like, dude, should you be telling me this stuff? Because he started talking about like secret missions dropping down from unmarked planes into, I can't remember what jungle, and I'm just all like, oh my god, this dude's freaking Rambo. So you never know who you run into.
And I believe it. Speaking of Rambo, what's Stallone been doing as of late? He's a busy man. Have you seen that? His good friend Schwarzenegger did something kind of interesting. We'll talk about that coming up around the corner. He held a sword. What kind of sword, you ask? We'll let you know after this. Stay tuned for more right after this.
Hello, listeners. Christopher here from The Christopher Show. Hey, I want to talk to you a little bit about CBD. Now, CBD is not approved by the FDA as of yet. Myself, as well as millions of other people across the USA, have used it with help for pain, anxiety, sleep, and other conditions. Now, all CBD products are not equal. It really matters on where you get the CBD from. Now, I suggest you get it from a qualified pharmacist, and I happen to know of one. It's at Your Pharmacy and Mobility Solutions in Beaumont, California. They only carry pharmaceutical-grade CBD products of the highest quality. So if you want the best, you go to Your Pharmacy and Mobility Solutions. Their staff is there to help you with all your CBD, pharmacy, and mobility needs. They're located at 1680 East 6th Street in Beaumont, California. Give them a call, 951-845-8252. Once again, it's Your Pharmacy Mobility Solutions in Beaumont, 951-845-8252. Once again, it's Your Pharmacy and Mobility Solutions in Beaumont, California, 951-845-8252.
For all you truck and RV enthusiasts, TruckWorks right here in Banning is your one-stop shop for the best diesel performance and overall truck and RV needs. Whether you're towing, racing, off-road, or just cruising around town, TruckWorks specializes in truck and RV service, maintenance, repair, and performance upgrades for every light and medium-duty truck manufacturer. Bring it down to Terry and the guys at TruckWorks. Call 951-922-4776 or visit their website at mydieseldown.com today.
Mattress Brothers Overstock Mattress Sale. Just $3.99 for a foam encased queen pillow top set. $3.99. Check out Mattress Brothers $3.99 Overstock Sale. Mattress Brothers at 120 West Redlands Boulevard in Redlands. The $3.99 Overstock Sale is on now. $3.99 for a foam encased queen pillow top set. Mattress Brothers also has locations in Hammett, Riverside, and Palm Desert. The $3.99 queen pillow top sale on now. Standard time is here. That means shorter days and cooler nights that make you want to stay inside. Don't get caught in the cold. Franklin Mechanical Systems can do a preventative maintenance check on your heating unit. Get it working right. For cleaning, repair, or a new installation, call them for a free estimate. Franklin Mechanical Systems. For all your residential and commercial heating and air conditioning needs. Call their Beaumont office at 951-845-1000. That's 951-845-1000, and stay warm today.
Out the door, in the car, off to work. The same old morning routine. Take a break and stop for hot coffee or a latte and a fresh homemade cinnamon roll or chocolate cream puff. Donut Delight on Highland Springs Road in Banning is a locally owned family business with a friendly staff and customers who are always glad to see you. Get your morning off to a great start at Donut Delight on the corner of Highland Springs Road and Ramsey Street right off the I-10 freeway. Serving the Pass area for 22 years. Donut Delight is open at 4:30 a.m. daily.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Glad to have you with us. Don't forget, you can download us on your special phone device. It's, of course, available on both Android and, of course, iPhone. I wonder if there's ever going to be a third option that comes out. What do you think, Jesse?
That would be no. Didn't they have an alternate thing, a Windows phone?
I had one, actually. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it did not last long.
No, I had a Samsung, and it was after the remember the PDAs that we would have,
like the Blackberries?
Yeah, there were those too, but this one was like it was a Windows enabled version of it, and you had a stylus, and it was cool because it was Windows enabled. And then I could like tap into my other one, but Android and iPhone does that already. But I don't know. I'm kind of bored with the new iPhones. At least the iPhone. I feel like that there's little that they've innovated as of late. So I don't know if it's kind of like. I will be talking about a special cool vehicle, the Genesis GV80, by the way, which I've been taking a drive in for since Thursday, actually, to be honest. And I'm currently reviewing it. I didn't buy it. Some people are like, "Congratulations!" I'm like, congratulations for like a week. I'm just reviewing it. But I will say this, the ride in it is amazing. If you haven't checked out my Facebook, go give a like to that, ask some questions about it. The GV80 Genesis, I got stopped by like several people, one of which is like, dude, I wanted to buy this, but he says it was on back order, and then his friend wanted to buy it, but they went with another a Jaguar. And so, but it's a nice vehicle. I'll talk about it more tomorrow, but the Genesis GV80, again, great vehicle. I will say this, if you're looking for a luxury vehicle and you're looking at some other vehicles that are still in the same price range, then you're definitely going to want to give this one a possible check out. It's the 2021 Genesis GV80. I'll talk about it tomorrow on the show. Within the next coming months, I'll be reviewing a lot of different vehicles. Next week, I think I have the RAV4, the new RAV4 coming out as well. But this Genesis GV80 is priced at $48,900, which for its category is really good price. Some are a little bit more, and for the power in it and the bells and whistles in it. I had somebody ask just recently what were some of the cool features on it, or what were some surprising features. I'll talk about that. There's a couple cool stuff in this vehicle which allow you to how do I say just like figure out what's cool and for the future. Like it's one of the first vehicles that I stepped into that I was like, okay, how would I make this better? Because there's so many new gadgets in there that you could literally, I mean, if you had to live in a vehicle, I would live in this vehicle. Does that make sense? Like, I'd be like, you know what, forget a house. I'm just going to live in this vehicle. I mean, there's some people living in the vehicle, so I shouldn't laugh. But my point is, it's got all the cool, it's just got so many cool whistles, and it just, all right. So we'll talk about that more tomorrow, and I think you'll all appreciate it. All right. Switching gears up entirely. There's some news happening over there. Deadpool. Let's talk about that, Jesse, because Deadpool 3, is it real? Is it going to happen? What's the latest there?
Yes, I read earlier today that their Deadpool 3 is confirmed, and it's actually going to be a rated R. So I'm actually quite surprised that Disney allowed it. But I think the best part that I enjoy about it is that he's actually going to be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So how that plays out is beyond me. But I read that they're going to start filming next year. So right now they're just working out the script and stuff.
Got it. So there you go. Deadpool 3 coming out. Of course, Ryan Reynolds to show the love. Jesse, I mean, okay, if they had anybody in there that they could bring in, are there any confirmed returns to this by chance?
Ooh, no, I don't think anything is confirmed other than it's rated R. It's going to be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So hopefully they bring back the some of the actors from the first and second one.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to bring back his best friend because I think he had a bit of an attitude on the second one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think he said something that was like racist, or he said something stupid, and then everyone's angry at him. I can't even remember his name.
Well, maybe they'll forgive him for coronavirus days. Be like, I don't know. Let's see. Ryan Reynolds, Mercenaries officially joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They'll be keeping the R rating. Let's see. Lizzie Molyneux Luglin and Wendy Molyneux are hard at work on the script with Reynolds overseeing, but Deadpool 3 filming will not begin until 2022 at the earliest. It's an exciting update. Obviously, they've been working on quite a few things, including Thor 4 and Spider-Man 3. This year, we'll also begin filming Doctor Strange 2, Black Panther 2, and Captain Marvel 2. So Deadpool 3 will not be hopping onto the dance until 2022, which means it'll probably come out by 2023. And so if you pick those out, Jesse, do you see how maybe they could probably start interweaving him kind of right now, like as a little cameo? I could see that.
Oh yeah, like I was thinking what they could do is, just in the future movies or TV shows, just have him walking in the background, just nonchalantly, like la la la, and then he turns to the camera and then like runs away. That would be hilarious.
Oh, right. Okay, I get that. Taking over where Stan Lee kind of left off, right?
Yeah. Oh, that would be funny. Oh, that would be great. I didn't even think about that.
There's so many ways to tie him in right now with those. Let's see. I can see him in Thor 4, Spider-Man 3, especially Spider-Man 3, Doctor Strange 2, Black Panther. I'm waiting for them to do the X-Men, right? And I hope that with Deadpool, they could do X-Men right and bring it back in a better way than they have, on the last couple times that they've done it. So there you go. That's my vote. There you go. Speaking of vote, have you guys seen this? It is the latest. Somebody's commenting on social media already. Arnold Schwarzenegger with a sword. What was that all about? Many people are asking the question. So obviously, look, Arnold Schwarzenegger with the sword. Do you remember Conan?
Of course, I remember Conan. Why? Okay, I guess I missed something over the weekend. Why is he holding a sword?
Why is he not holding a sword? Okay. Let's see. There's a couple things that he did. Here it is. He posted a video. I'm pulling up the information on it right now because it's a whole video situation that you really got to listen to get the whole part of it. And so all I care about is the sword, to be honest. Can I have that sword?
Right? That looks pretty sweet.
Yeah. So there you go. That's the news. No, I'm just kidding. Here's the headline. Arnold Schwarzenegger says Trump is a failed leader and urges unity after Capitol siege. This isn't the first time he's spoken out about Trump. I'm certain it won't be the last. In a call for unity following the siege of the U.S. Capitol, former California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger said President Donald Trump will be remembered as the worst president in U.S. history and urged Americans to offer their support to President-elect Joe Biden. He said, quote, "We need to heal together from the drama of what has just happened. We need to heal not as Republicans or as Democrats, but as Americans." Schwarzenegger drew on his childhood in Austria in the wake of World War II, warning of the threat posed by repeated lies and intolerance. He compared Wednesday's riot at the U.S. Capitol by a pro-Trump mob, also known as the Night of Broken Glass, the rampage of violence by the Nazi regime against Jewish communities, synagogues, and businesses in Germany and Austria in 1938. He said, referring to broken windows in the Capitol building, quote, "Wednesday was a day of broken glass right here in the United States, shattered the ideas we took for granted, and trampled the very principles on which our country was founded." Schwarzenegger said he grew up in Austria around broken men drinking away the guilt over their participation in the most evil regime in history. They weren't all rabid anti-Semites or Nazis. Many just went along step by step down the road. He shared a story of his own father, who was a member of the Nazi Party during World War II. He said, quote, "I've never shared this publicly because it was a painful memory, but my father would come home drunk once or twice a week, and he would scream and hit us and scare my mother." He said men like his father were in both physical pain from the shrapnel in their bodies and in emotional pain from what they saw or did. He said, "Being from Europe, I've seen firsthand how things can spin out of control." The former Republican governor and actor turned his attention to the president. He said this, quote, President Trump sought to overturn the results of a fair election. He saw a coup. He saw a coup by misleading people with lies. My father and our neighbors were misled also with lies, and I know where such lies lead. President Trump is a failed leader. He will go down in history as the worst president ever. The good thing is he will soon be as irrelevant as an old tweet. Schwarzenegger also called out elected officials who enabled the president, which I'm not going to lie, that's actually not a bad idea. Without naming anyone, though, he said a number of members of his party had exhibited spinelessness and were complicit with those who carried out the insurrection. He went on to say, it did not work. Our democracy held firm. What a great display of democracy. He picked up a sword, one he said belonged to Conan the Barbarian, the character he played in the 1982 film by the same name. He said, our democracy is like the steel of this sword. He said, the more it is tempered, the stronger it becomes. For the nation to begin healing, he called on everyone to join him in a message to Biden. President-elect Biden, we wish you great success as our president. If you succeed, our nation succeeds. We support you with all our hearts as you seek to bring us together. And to those who think they can overturn the United States Constitution, know this, you will never win. Of course, I'm not going to try to do it in the official Schwarzenegger voice. But there you go. You know what? I don't think he doesn't have a point. Does that make sense? Like literally a point? Get it?
Yeah. But dang, I wish I could see that video. I'll probably watch it later because I need to see that sword in action.
Me too. I just want to see the sword. Okay, so there you go. That sword looks very, I mean, you know, when in 1983, how young was he? That was a great film, by the way. If you haven't seen it, Conan the Barbarian. I don't know, how many did they make? There were a few, right?
Let's see. There's Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Destroyer. I think it's just the 2, maybe 3. I don't remember, but I think I have to go back and watch it because I do like me some Conan.
Yeah, and what a cool piece of armor to have around. Just being like, don't storm his castle. Okay, people, we got to take a quick break here on the morning show. We'll be right back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Your health truly is the greatest gift. At U-Theory, quality of life is at the heart of every product we make. From farm to shelf, we travel the world to source the purest, most efficacious, and clinically studied ingredients to create science-backed supplements that support beauty, emotional, digestive, and physical well-being. All U-Theory products are manufactured at our Southern California facility, ensuring the highest quality standards every step of the way. As a family-owned company, we celebrate the power of human potential with a mission to inspire wellness in all. Try U-Theory Immune Plus Daily Wellness. 100% daily values of vitamin C, D3, and zinc. Go beyond the you of today and catch the you of tomorrow. U-Theory.
Who is the Atua Man? Can you imagine exploring spiritual consciousness through an exotic action-adventure story? The Atua Man is masterfully illuminated in this self-discovery novel by John Stevenson. Dive into the page-turning epic hero's journey, weaving together high action with spiritual revelation. Join the Atua Man and his colorful cohorts as they travel through the majestic Hawaii, the hidden mysteries of Polynesia, and the intrigue, starting with the mysterious healing that breeds chaos in London. This journey guides us through the trials of living in the material world, arriving into enlightened consciousness, perhaps glimpse into the fabric of creation. How is the Atua Man affected by the global healing ministry surrounding him? How does he navigate the complexities of love, forgiveness, life and death, wealth and power? Find out in John Stevenson's TheAtuaMan.com, Apple Books, Amazon, Barnes & Noble.
The Fat Greek in Yucaipa, where you can get authentic, delicious, true Greek food. Authentic gyros, Greek salads, pitas, falafel, hamburgers, burritos, and oh yes, baklava. The Fat Greek has a large selection of wines, ice-cold domestic, and imported Greek beers. Come on down to the Fat Greek located on Yucaipa Boulevard in the city of Yucaipa. Open 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. 7 days a week. The Fat Greek has delivery, drive-through, sit-down, and a catering service. So bring in a family or give Nicholas and Christopher a call at 909-797-6018. Eat Greek, live long. Remember, if you want authentic Greek food, it's the Fat Greek in Yucaipa.
Listen to USC Trojan Talk with the coach, Harvey Hyde, brought to you by BMW of Ontario, every Saturday morning at 11 a.m., right here on KMET 1490.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Don't forget, we're on Alexa. You can always tap in very easily. Just say, Alexa, I like to listen to KMET 1490 AM. It'll play through several different means. I recommend the TuneIn app. It's the easiest one to check out and got a great other as well. I know we're coming to other platforms as well around the corner, so stay tuned always for the latest and greatest. Follow me at Aaron Michael Sanchez and or KMET 1490 AM on Facebook, Twitter, and of course, you can find me on Instagram as well, which I feel is kind of ramped up its exposure as of late. So I feel a lot more people are on Instagram as of late. I don't know about you, Jesse. Have you been on there?
I have not been. I haven't posted anything on Instagram for a while, mainly because I haven't really been doing anything.
Yeah. Well, this is the latest news, and I'll probably repost it on Instagram a little bit later. Democrats unveil impeachment charge. That's the latest. There's some news on this already. A House resolution calling on Vice President Mike Pence to invoke constitutional authority to remove President Donald Trump from the office was actually, what do you think? Do you think it was accepted and or blocked by Republicans?
I believe it was accepted.
It was blocked. And there you go. Democrats in the House are pushing Pence and the cabinet to oust Trump, saying he's unfit for office after encouraging a protest march that turned into a mob that ransacked the U.S. Capitol in a deadly siege. Pence has given no indication he's ready to proceed on such a course, which would invoke the 25th Amendment of the Constitution. This is what I said as of Friday, didn't I? I said he's never gone against him. Trump likes it that way, and he'll never go against him. Even when he made fun of him, like in front of him, he's like, oh, yeah, make fun of me. Did you see that stuff? He would do that. And I was always like, okay, that guy doesn't have a backbone. I hate to say it, but that's the way Trump made it, set it up. So if you guys look at that, you'll see it time and again. They have to go above that. Democratic President-elect Joe Biden will be sworn in January 20th, with just days left, of course, in the presidency. The House is also preparing to impeach Trump this week. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is trying to put pressure on Republicans to tell Trump it's time to go. Trump would face a single charge, incitement of insurrection, over the riot at the U.S. Capitol, according to a draft of the articles obtained by the Associated Press. Lawmakers are set to introduce the legislation today with voting midweek. The 4-page impeachment bill draws from Trump's own false statements about his election defeat to Biden, his pressure on state officials in Georgia to find him more votes, and his White House rally ahead of the Capitol siege, in which he encouraged thousands of supporters to, quote, fight like hell before they stormed the building on Wednesday. A violent mob, of course, of Trump supporters overpowered police, broke through security lines and windows, and rampaged through the Capitol, forcing lawmakers to scatter as they were finalizing Biden's victory over Trump in the Electoral College. The legislation said, quote, President Trump gravely endangered the security of the United States and its institutions of government. The bill from Representatives David Cicilline of Rhode Island, Ted Lieu of California, Jamie Raskin of Maryland, and Gerald Nadler of New York said Trump threatened the integrity of the democratic system, interfered with the peaceful transition of power, and betrayed trust. They wrote he will remain a threat to national security, democracy, and the Constitution if allowed to remain in office. We need to move forward with alacrity. I don't know what that word is. Sorry. I need to look it up. Do you know what that word is, Jesse?
No, I do not. How do you spell it?
Oh, okay. This is a good one for all of us. Alacrity. Alacrity. I didn't do it right with like those spelling bee. It means brisk and cheerful readiness. So there you go. That's an important word. Start using that today. We need to move forward with brisk and cheerful readiness. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says the House will proceed with legislation to impeach Trump as she pushes the VP and cabinet to invoke constitutional authority to force him out, warning that Trump is a threat to democracy after the deadly assault on the Capitol. Republican Senator Pat Toomey of Pennsylvania joined Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski of Alaska over the weekend in calling for Trump to resign and go away as soon as possible. Lawmakers warned of the damage the president could still do before Joe Biden is inaugurated January 20th. Holdup at the White House was increasingly isolated after a mob rioted in the Capitol in support of his false claims of election fraud. He says, we will act with urgency because this president represents an imminent threat. The horror of the ongoing assault on our democracy perpetrated by this president is intensifying, and so is the immediate need for action. So there you go. A lot of questions still out there. How much time does he have? What's he going to do with that time available? I don't know. What do you see happening, Jesse?
Honestly, I have no idea. Since obviously they're not going to impeach him, but no, they are. I think so. But he should just give up. I think I would have more respect for him if he was to bow down gracefully, but it's kind of past that part. So I have no idea. I know he's probably going to suffer after he becomes president quite a bit, though.
How do you mean?
I feel like he won't have as much protection and reach since most people will be want to stay away from him.
Okay, I can see that. Like they finally distance themselves. Like, I don't know you. I didn't know you. Now that you have no power, you can't do anything for me.
Pretty much. I mean, after seeing that and just seeing everyone from his cabinet kind of bow out. So I think there's a couple of them, his people from his cabinet that says, I quit. I can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I always wonder who's going to follow him to the very, 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 very end. I always wonder about that. And if his family members, because his family are very yes, right? The whole time. I always wonder how they're profiting from this with certain laws that have been enacted by Trump. I know I read something about some laws that he already, I have to research it, but here it is. Let's see. There's a couple of them. Yeah, I don't, but there's a couple of them. Look, follow what he does in the coming days ahead and then go, can we stop that from happening? I don't know, but there you go. That's my question about it. What's he going to do to set himself up or absolve himself of some of these situations and or things that might come, forefront? I wonder why he's holding on so tight, right? Most people just say, okay, I lost. Let me get back to work. Not him. Why does he want to stay in office still? Does that make sense? I mean, it's a lot of stress, isn't it?
It is a lot of stress. I'm surprised he even did it in the first place. So it's kind of just an odd thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would say, okay, look, when it's your time to go, it's your time to go. That's it. That's just, just say, okay, bow out gracefully and say, move on. What I question is why he would want to stay on so fervently when in reality, he already says, well, if I lose or if I lost, I would run again in 2025. Then do that, right? Save face, look good, do something for the people and say, you know what? Everybody's bills are paid. Boom. Guaranteed people will be like, you know what? When you come back, I'm going to vote for you. Set yourself up for a win, not for a loss. I mean, there's a couple of ways to play it, to be honest, but get the majority back by doing the right thing when it comes to coronavirus, right? Employment numbers are low. Employment numbers are so low. Basically, it's almost like a smokescreen of stupidness when in reality, we should be hitting up, not getting him impeached as much as how do we get people back to work, right? How do we get people paid for ahead of time? How do we get people taken care of right now? Let's not get so caught up in this that we forget what we need, just to pay the bills, right? How many people currently are unemployed? How many people can't go back to work because A, it's too difficult. B, it's impossible because some of your businesses have closed. And C, now there's less jobs available. Is anybody talking about that? And should they be talking about it? Yes. So something you mentioned earlier, Jesse, sometimes certain people in government kind of talk about blah, 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 blah the whole day instead of saying, we still have a problem. It's coronavirus. And we can easily get him gone from just his mental train of mind. Nancy Pelosi back in November already made, I believe, a bill or a law passing for, and I think they already have one if you're proven unfit to lead. But it seems like nobody's taking that serious, and it's simple. I mean, just, call a couple experts in and do a panel on that. Shoot, do a polygraph on him. Seriously, you find all kinds of stuff. What? You would. Like that guy, I think he lies so much he believes his own lies. Does that make sense?
Ooh, that's a scary thing if you believe your own lies.
Yeah, but oddly enough, the heart doesn't know how to lie. Does that make sense? Like you can there's some that are trained professionals. Trump was never trained, right? There's spies that out there that know how to calm their body movements to be able to, like, there's experts out there that are like human lie detectors. I don't know if you know any. I know of 3, by the way, personally, that can do it. And they could tell at the moment, like there's called, it was called Lie to Me. Did you ever see Lie to Me? It was a good show about how certain people can determine when people are lying.
No, that's pretty intriguing though.
And if everybody tells the truth when it comes to government, I mean, granted, there's, certain things that you can't talk about called, classified. I get that, especially when it comes to military operations and or the like. But just ask him about, I don't know, where his offshore accounts are with his money. And you'll find out a lot more info. And then, of course, if you just, tap, of course, all of the things and businesses that he's been running through proxies, then you'll find out why he's trying to keep in office. And then, of course, all the promises he's made to all the people that funded him, because, of course, did he throw all of his, how many billions of dollars did he do for the campaign? So he made a lot of promises that are making a lot of people a little upset, and maybe him kind of staying on a little bit longer and enact some of the things that they want. There you go. There's your answer, and that's how you'll figure out why he's taking forever to just say, okay, I go peacefully and get back to work, right? I mean, he's got, the Taj Mahal to save, right? So there you go. Then there's this. Stimulus checks have been sent out to millions of people, but many will actually be getting their payment via debit card. Last year, many people received their stimulus payment via direct deposit or a check in the mail. So these debit cards are going to be new for a lot of people. They will come in a white envelope, which displays the U.S. Treasury seal and economic impact payment card in the return address. The envelope also states it contains important information about their economic impact payment. People who get the debit cards in the mail will have to call to activate them. I can guarantee you, Jesse, there's about half of the people that are going to get this that are going to throw it away, wondering if it's one of those fake, you've got a new Visa card. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I throw those away all the time. So I'll have to actually open it and check.
Yeah, double check it. You'll be asked to validate your identity by providing the last 6 digits of your social security number. You'll also be asked to create a 4-digit PIN required for ATM transaction, automated assistance, and adhere balance information. The Department of Treasury says recipients can use their debit cards for free anywhere. Visa debit cards are accepted to make purchases. I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of people stealing these. Who will get these debit cards? The government says some people who received a paper check last time might receive a prepaid debit card this time. Some people who received a prepaid debit card last time may receive a paper check. It sounds like they have no idea what they're doing. Bottom line, if you haven't received your second payment and you're eligible for one, you'll definitely want to check your mail regularly. For more information, visit the IRS website. It's simple, irs.gov, and find your money. So there you go. See, it pays to listen to The Morning Show if you haven't received it yet. We want to know on social media. Have you received it? Have you not received it? Did you get it one of these 3 ways? Let us know on social media. I'll stay on for a couple more minutes. Follow me, Aaron Michael Sanchez, on all official. Well, I'm still there. Trump isn't. So. I told you. Just, follow the guy. There you go. Follow the money, really. All right, people. We'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same channel. Make it a good one. Bye-bye, everyone. All right, for those tuning in, I appreciate you. Thank you for spending time with us here on The Morning Show. Let's go to the chat room. Chat up situation. Let's see. Let's go up. And again, I see some comments in here, which I have not seen, but I'll address them right now. So I always say, hold your judgment. Hold your judgment. Oh, I left one up there too long. Adina says, Mario, I wish I could totally retire, but unfortunately, I'm an innovator, and I keep coming up with new technology with 3 more new patents on the way. Maybe I've already retired because I love what I'm doing. I see the positive impact it has on the lives of people, and my heart sings. I say this, Adina. Never stop creating. Never stop making things happen. And you know what? Just because you're retired, that just means, look, take your money there and then reapply it for something that, makes you have more fun, right? Like doing the stuff you're doing. I love it. I think you should do more of it. Okay, Gerald Garner over there, good actor friend over there, and I think martial artist too. By the way, does some amazing stuff. Has been quite a long time, right, Gerald? Let's see. He says, I think this is just a ploy to warn anyone else from trying to drain the swamp. I do not believe violence is the way. Let's see. Mario says, Dina, I'm glad there's people like you out there. Don't get me wrong. In government, I think they should retire. I feel the same way when I do my work and when I pay it forward, so on. So I understand what you mean. I wasn't trying to say anything bad towards you. Hope I didn't offend. Thank you all for what you do to help others. I will say this, though. There's certain Congress members that need to like hang up their suit. Does that make sense? Like there's some that just kind of take the regular paycheck and then they make a lot of money based on like, lobbying us and check that stuff out. I mean, we've already evaluated some of these that just, they make a lot of money. And you're like, why are you a lawmaker / politician? Oh, I get it. To fund the money trail. Just saying, throwing that out there because it's true. Let's see. Adina says, I'm not offended. I'm passionate about keeping doing what you love no matter the age. Exactly. All right. Let's see. Adina says, ego. That's why he stays. Maria says, officer jail. That is why. Let's see. Adina says he should never be allowed to run again. Gerald says, save face is the honorable thing to do. Exactly. Be honorable. But yeah. Both sides need to get to work to get us back on track. Yes, stop partisan bickering. Thank you, Gerald. That's exactly what I'm saying. Let's see. Maria says, invoke the 25th, but Pence thinks that would make the riots worse. No, it's called whatever you say, Trump, whatever you say. Yeah. No, I won't. No. I'll never go against you. Because I can see Trump going, yeah, I'll turn in that information on you and you'll go down with, no. Yeah, look at the tapes. Whenever whatever they did, every now and then I would tune in and I'd see Pence and he'd say something outspoken. And then all of a sudden Trump would kind of bat him down, kind of like bullies do. Hey, get in your position. You're a dummy, right? He kind of treats him like that. Look at the stuff. And then Pence goes, oh yeah. I'm such a, I don't know what I was thinking. He does that. And that's called, we all know what that is, right? I'm not even going to call it what I think it is, but there you go. But look, Trump's got so much on so many people. That's how, it's just, I mean, don't believe me, just check it out. Let's see. Mario says, yes, if you tell the lies too much over and over, you start to think it's real. Yeah. Let's see. Gerald says, UFOs. Hey, you know what? We had a good discussion last week on UFOs because evidently there was on one of the bills passed on the stimulus. UFOs are going to be talked about. I don't know how they got into the stimulus package, but there you go. Let's see. Angela says, I got one. I thought it was fake. What did you get? Oh. Let's see. Something that I don't know what you guys are talking about. Okay. I'm sure I'll figure it out. Let's see. Dina says, no, I'll be getting one. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Hold on. Let me. Yeah, I don't know how to. I can't click on that link. Let's see. Rosalie says, if these grown people cannot control what's in their pants, how will they control a country? You know what, Rosalie? That is a good point. I will say that because, I mean, if you know what I mean, the ladies know the secrets because you know what I mean. What did they say whenever like Congress meets up, like all of a sudden levels of money get thrown into, because, or whenever they have Democratic or Republican parties summits. I don't know what the wives do. They just kind of look the other way. Don't know why. There you go. Let's see. Barry says, have an awesome day. Stay safe. Let's see. Adina says, love you. Thank you, Adina. Appreciate you as well. All right. So there you go. Lots of stories coming in. Let me look at the top 3 right here, right now. Let's see. Because I'm really wondering what's going to go on with the situation. Let's see. Okay. So still the latest. House Democrats formally charged Trump with incitement of insurrection. Blah, blah, blah. Here's what I say. Again, it's simple. Just test his mindset. It's obviously not working. It hasn't been working for a couple months, if you know what I mean. Yep. And then there's this. Let's see. No. Dumb. Okay. Republicans object to House bill calling Pence to invoke 25th Amendment. Yeah, kind of saw that coming. Democrats are calling Pence to respond within 24 hours. If that does not happen, Democrats will bring their impeachment resolution to the floor. Just do it right now. It's just gonna delay every minute that you stay open. Just stuff they're doing. Probably throwing stuff away. They're probably ripping stuff up. But I can almost guarantee it.
Speaker Pelosi
House Democrats unveiled the articles of
CBS
impeachment
News about
against.
why impeachment
Hold on, sorry.
is still so critical.
Blah blah blah. Okay, yeah, there you go. Sorry, there's video playing. Not sure if you can hear that. Let me know if you can hear the video. Democrats on Monday sought to take up resolution from Representative Jamie Raskin of Maryland, urging Vice President Mike Pence and the cabinet to invoke the 25th Amendment. It was blocked by Republicans, of course. Hoyer tried to pass the resolution Monday through unanimous consent. West Virginia Republican Representative Alex Mooney objected to the request. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said the Democrats will move to bring the resolution for a full floor vote on Tuesday. Takes forever to do these things, seriously. The single impeachment article points to Trump's repeated false claims that he won the election and his speech to the crowd on January 6th before pro-Trump rioters breached the Capitol. How many months has it been since we did the November? Okay. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like who didn't? It's too long. November, this. I just yo, Pence, you're the guy. There, done. And he would be like, "What do I do with the next coming days? Awesome." I'm just saying, right? Just come on. There's got to be something you can do. Let's see. So there you go. There's that. Maybe I'm just wishful thinking. I think I watched too many movies about this. I think it's much more simpler. Like, remember the situation with, granted, it was a submarine, but, Gene Hackman and can't think of the movie. You know which one I'm talking about, though, right? Where they go at each other. They're both kind of right, but they're both kind of wrong. And then you figure out there's only one that was really right. Denzel Washington. That's the one. They need to do that. I would pay to see that. Like, get a camera in and then like watch that and watch like the Biden camp go against the Trump camp. And then like, no, you're derelict. No, you're derelict. No, I get him. And then they all like, whoa. And then everybody draws their guns like, and then, right. Come on. I think Gerald could do that, right? Gerald, I think that's a movie just waiting to happen. There you go. I'm just saying, what? That's a standard coup. I don't know, whatever. Make it happen. Okay, people. What? I'm just saying, take out the people that cause problems for humanity, and you'll find out it's not the only government that's the situation. There's other governments as well. So you got to be a front runner to like go, yo, hey, you get out from office, or we're gonna have to. I think the Pentagon actually already weighed in on this a while back. They said that they wouldn't support the situation, so there you go. I'm just saying, the guy has too much control over too many things with the little loose brain over there. I'm not sure. Let's see. Even China, China's bringing in a new law to fight Trump's sanctions. Yet there's a lot of people on a lot of levels going, dude, what's going on? So we got to be careful. That's my point, and I'm sticking to it. All right, people, there you go. I'm just observing what is happening. I'm not trying to cause a coup. I'm just saying, do the right thing, people. If at the very least, Congress, can you at least help the people out? Seriously, just help the people. You still need about 1.8 trillion. So let's meet on that. All right, people, we'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same channel. Make it a good one. Bye-bye, everyone.